Oh, volunteers. What am I going to do with you? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Mentor Me Monday. This is our second episode of this brand new show here, so thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Paul Turner, and today we want to talk about volunteers. I've been blessed enough to have volunteers stay with me for a fair amount of time, usually 2 to 3 years, and then, things go on, whether they get married or other things go on, and they, go to some of the ministry in the church, which is fine. But I've had the opportunity to have volunteers long term, and so that's kind of a blessing. But the letter we have today is from Pam. And Pam says, I have been leading my church's middle school ministry for 3 years now. I'm constantly having to recruit new helpers because my most helpful ones, and I underline this, my most helpful ones roll off the list after a while. Now people are not showing up to the minister mandated quarterly training. How do I keep the helpers as excited and committed as I feel? And so, Pam, that is a great question. First of all, thank you for working with the middle school ministry. That is a phenomenal ministry all by itself. And it does need good volunteers because let me tell you what, middle schoolers are just a wacky bunch, right? You've figured that out. And they need really good volunteers. So let me also say to you guys that are watching today, I don't know Pam and I don't know Pam's situation. I'm only guessing here. This is something she submitted here. So I don't know her church background or denomination or others, but I can tell, only because I've experienced it, it sounds like this is a committee driven where you sign up for it and you sort of get a grab bag of people to work with your ministry. And if I'm incorrect with that, Pam, by the way, feel free to leave me a comment that says, nope, that is not it. But I see that you wanted to keep, the question is, how do I recruit new helpers because my most helpful ones roll off the list after a while? And then also, how do I keep helpers as excited and committed as I feel? Which, praise the Lord that you're excited about that because the youth ministry and the middle school centers need at least one person to be excited that they're there to work with them. So some things that I go through and I ask these questions. Number one, what roles or responsibilities do these leaders have? In other words, do they come onto the team? And I immediately try to figure out where they want to serve, not I won't say departments, but what segments of your youth ministry are they really good at? Maybe it's worship or Bible study or games or things like that. And maybe if you don't have a list like that of things of responsibilities they can do, maybe work on that and say, hey, here's some 10 things you can choose from. What would you like to do? The second thing that I look at is, are the leaders that you get, are they serving in their sweet spots? In other words, are they serving in areas that they're really good at? In other words, you don't have somebody who's really good at games leading a Bible study per se, or you don't have people who are extroverts doing introverted jobs per se. And then I also look at the fact, I try to make every task an important task. In other words, I tell them the why behind the what. And if I'm going to give them a task to do and say, hey, would you do this? Here's why I want you to do it. This is important because. And I try to make that clear when I'm talking with them so that they understand that whether it's cleaning up or whether it's the cafe or whatever it is, they know and understand that their role is important. The third thing I look at is I spend times with my leaders outside of the church atmosphere. So in other words, I go to lunch with them, I have dinner with them, I invite them over to the house, I get involved in some of their sports or activities or things that they like to do, and I just get to know them as people. And that helps me figure out what they're really good at, and then just casual conversation. Not everything is an in-church kind of thing. And so it's not just about church and ministry, but it's about life and about doing those things. So you'll be able to find their sweet spot by spending a little more time with them. Number 4, I noticed that you said too that it's the minister mandated quarterly training. First of all, I'd ask for your pastor for help for that and say, listen, pastor, I have some issues with people showing up when some things are maybe beyond your control, maybe some things he can do, maybe make a phone call or, go to bat for you, something like that to be able to help that. But also, how do how do you keep your, them coming to the meeting? Number one, every meeting I have food. Like tonight I have a meeting and I'm going to have Subway and let them make their own subs. There's all kinds of things involved in that. I make sure I have food, the music is lively, I make sure my agenda is all set out and laid out. I teach them something. I recommend, if you don't have this resource, Downloadable Youth Ministry, DYM, I think it's downloadableyouthministry.com. They have some great resources about leadership and showing little videos. So I'll show my crew little videos and training videos and things like that. And Pam, you're welcome to show any of the training videos that we have here on the YouTube channel, on my channel here. Feel free to use them in your talking with them about certain things. Maybe you can find something to use there. I also have, I look at helpers and have old helpers come in and share their stories. I try to have those that have served before maybe come in and talk to them, or things like that. If people exit obviously gracefully and things like that, and things are well and they've just not been able to serve, and I tell them, hey, why don't you come back and talk to my leaders? And I have former students come back in as well and say, what has this youth ministry meant to you? And make sure that our adult leaders understand that this is an important and vital ministry in our church. And the last thing is this: I have students, if we have a new person come in, I usually have students, do a little welcoming or things like that to kind of welcome people on board. Maybe they can do a little party, do a slideshow, introduce those leaders to who they are, do a slideshow of past events, things that are fun, things that they've done and they think are great, so that they can kind of capture an idea and a vision of what this youth ministry is about. So Pam, I hope I've answered some of your questions today. Those are just some of the things that I would do in working with my leaders here. And so if you have any other further questions, please let me know. And if you've been watching this day, you've been dealing with volunteers, or maybe you've been dealing with another issue, if you'd like me to work with you on this and kind of mentor you with a situation, please send me an email at thedproject@me.com. That's thedproject@me.com, and it's probably right here. And please send me your request. What would you like me to focus on? Maybe you're dealing with a situation and I can maybe lend some things. If you're in a situation right now where you need some mentoring or coaching in your youth ministry to help, whether it's growing in numbers or discipleship or any of those things, I do have a coaching mentoring package on my website at shopthediscipleproject.net, and you can check that out here. I'm going to put a link right here for that, and there'll be a link at the end as well. And you can check out that package, what it would take to spend some time together for a whole month and pray and talk through and set goals and all that kind of good stuff that you would want in a coaching and mentoring relationship. So anyway, that's my time for today. I hope you enjoyed today's Mentor Me Monday. Send me your requests, please. Leave me comments down below. How have you dealt with volunteers? How have you worked? Some good volunteer advice for Pam. Let her know these things. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. That lets me know that you enjoyed the video. Thank you, as always, for watching, my loyal folks here that you tune in every week. And also, if you are brand spanking new, thanks for stopping by. And if you'd like to be a subscriber and get these videos in your inbox every week, just hit the subscribe button right there, and then you'll get videos just like this every Monday on Mentor Me Monday, and Tuesday for the Tuesday Panic, and then occasionally things like More Than a Youth Room and other videos that I do. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for the Mentor Me Monday. I'm Paul Turner, and we will see you next time. Have a great week.